Rambo Last Blood is the best Sylvester Stallone movie since Cliffhanger and Over the Top. I know what you may be thinking. Mario, are you fucking kidding me? What about Rocky, Creed, First Blood? Are you crazy? I could see why you would think that, however, I did specify by saying Sylvester Stallone movie. The man has made his own genre of film by this point, which is testosterone-filled and adrenaline-pumping movies that will make you forget all about the story structure and character depth and all those filmmaking rule things that we've learned to criticize in every movie released ever. In terms of Rambo as a series, I'm sure you could probably guess, but I love them all. Well, most of them. First Blood is a genuinely great film that everyone needs to see. Rambo 2 is the start of the more action hero Rambo, and I dig it. Rambo 3 is similar to Rambo 2, just not that good and kind of boring if you ask me. And Rambo 2008 is when the series adapted to become more modern. It is violent, gritty, and man, I love every second of the 2008 Rambo film. When I first heard talk of Rambo Last Blood, I was already excited. All I had to do was watch the first trailer to know that it was going to follow what Rambo 2008 did and go bigger and better. I was more than on board for one last Rambo film. One of the jobs of any movie is to serve the genre that it's going for. Comedy? Make me laugh. Horror? Scare me. Action? Get my adrenaline going. Does this movie deliver on that? Of course it does. I know the exact moment that I fell in love with this movie. I heard that wonderful Rambo music in the opening, and when I saw Sylvester Stallone on screen as John Rambo after 11 years, yeah, that was enough for me. Does it matter that characters are thrown in randomly only to progress the story and are forgotten about later? That the character choices are not that smart? That the pacing is off? Or that there was a lack of exposition or setup to get the story grounded in reality? Hell no. Because I came in knowing what I wanted to watch on screen, and Sylvester Stallone knew what I and many other Rambo fans needed to see. Rambo going into a foreign country where he somehow learned to speak and understand their native language, and beats some ass with a final act that will leave you so blown away that Avengers Endgame and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood are shaking right now because they thought they would have the best final act in a movie this year. Think again. Stallone came in and said, "Fuck you, I'm gonna make an even crazier final act," because ladies and gentlemen, the last 30 minutes will leave you with your jaw on the floor. I won't say much because I want you guys to experience what I witnessed, but just know you're in for something good. Real good. I'd say the best part of the film is Stallone himself. Every moment he's on screen, he owns it and can still carry a film as the lead. What's even more impressive is the fact that he's 73 and can still sell being an action hero. At this rate, Stallone can make action films in his 80s and I'll still be buying my ticket. The movie is a roller coaster ride from the minute it begins. It wastes no time setting things up because it barely sets anything up and gets the story going right away. In any other film, I would be livid at the lack of any real setup, but here, call me a hypocrite, but it just didn't bother me. The film did the bare minimum of what it needed to do in order to get the audience member into the film story, and honestly, for what this film is, it works. This film is the definition of playing it safe. It does what all of the other Rambo movies did and just changed the formula ever so slightly. It still involves saving someone, Rambo coming to terms with himself, and having tons of blood-filled battles with the enemies in the story. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I understand that this was basically me just worshiping the Rambo films and not so much a look at filmmaking, but I really believe it's not always about the technical aspects of film, but also what the movie made you feel. And I haven't had this much fun in a theater in a long time. This movie made me feel like I was 17 years old again watching rated R movies for the first time. Anytime a movie can make me feel younger is a plus in my book. Look, if you're going into this film expecting Lone Survivor or Unforgiven, then yeah, you're going to be disappointed. It's no art house movie. It's not layered and deep. It's Rambo. If you're a fan of this series, I promise this is right up your alley and you will have a great fucking time watching this just like I did. So consider this a public service announcement that if you plan on watching this film, know what you're getting into. I will proudly admit that I love this film and will be rewatching it in the future. It's the testosterone, adrenaline-filled movie that I needed. It's quick, digestible, and kick-ass to watch. This movie is perfect.